What up? What up, YouTube? It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. Been at least 2 weeks, man, since I've been on this bad boy, yo. What is good with y'all on YouTube, man? What's going on with y'all, man? I'm just over here living, man. Trying to stay stress free, man. This crazy world, man. In this crazy world, I'm just trying to stay stress free. But yeah, there's been all types of stuff going on since last time I've been on here. It's like, oh damn, like everything got worse, for the worse. Everything's been getting worse. And it seems like everything is scripted and coerced. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, a lot of this stuff that's going on is really doesn't surprise me, man. When it comes down to this type of stuff being scripted or or being staged, a lot of staged events going on, right? So last time we talked, man, there's been migrant crisis over here. Out here, it's been migrant crisis out there in Chicago and New York, right? It's been getting crazy out there in them two states, them Democrat states, of course, right? I ain't saying that the Republicans don't want it either. Want them to come over here either, man. I'm just my thing is, what I'm saying, um, look out for the people from here first, man. But there's a lot to this citizen, you know what I'm saying, and a lot to these words and stuff like that. If you read the Black Law Dictionary, man, you would see that there's more than meets the eye when it comes down to these terms, man. Right? When it comes down to these certain um when it comes down to these certain terms, man, there's a lot more that meets the eye over here. A lot of this stuff is just straight up. Just a lot of this stuff is straight up bullshit, man. Let's just keep it 100, man. Let's keep it 1,000, man. Um, for the most part, man, it's crazy, I'm just looking at this type of stuff from a certain kind of perspective, man. So, I'm just looking at it, in the realest way I can look at it, man. So, um, yeah, man, it's a lot going on. So now, it's like it's coming out that there's a migrant crisis over here. This that the border patrol let what 15,000 migrants are here in excuse me, my bad. 15,000 out here in California, man, San Diego to be exact. So damn, right? Um, I'm for people wanting to live a better life and stuff like that, man. I mean, really, I don't think none of us should be working anyway, and then they give you this religion stuff, the stuff called religion, but at the same time, they give you that, but at the same time, you got to really think in your right mind with your critical thinking. You could put your critical thinking caps on. What you really think? Would God really be wanting you to work for somebody else? Would God really be wanting somebody to get rich while you struggle? Would God be wanting somebody to live that much more comfortable than you while you don't live comfortable, or you don't think you live above your or below your means? So, I mean, these are the questions you got to ask. We don't ask these questions, man, because it's a real following kind of dynamic when it comes down to religion, because y'all got to keep in mind that's not the same thing as spirituality. So let me break into this. Let's see what's going on over here, man. All right, let's see what's going on over here. Let's see. Let's see what's going on over here with yeah, man. Let me see. Let me see. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. Right? Let's see. Let me. Okay. So fair use, fair use, 1976. Under Section 107, just giving me fair use to report on this video, um, for educational purposes or criticism purposes. All right. So let me go in real quick and see what's going on with this.
Had terrible internet. What she is seeing out there today. Kelly, what does it look like?
Well, and to deal with some of this overcrowding, large busloads of migrants are being moved out of these processing facilities after spending a few days there, and they're being released here at the Iris Trolley Center. I'm told as many as 300 to 400 are being released here a day.
Anthropology brasileira a linha aproximadamente de 1 por isso.
And through a translator, I talked to some of the migrants as they were waiting and trying to figure out how to get to their next destination. That last gentleman told me he's from Colombia and spent 4 days at the border wall and then getting processed before he was released. Now, I also talked to people from China, from India. We used an app on a phone to translate. All were wearing wristbands. They had paperwork with them and said they were given a court date. So we have video of buses dropping off migrants today here at this trolley station. Many were asking directions to the San Diego airport. Some told me they were headed to places like Los Angeles as well as Texas. Meanwhile, at the border wall, there are approximately 500 or so people camped out, including women and children. People are staying under makeshift tents. According to the volunteers, the people you see here have been out here for the last couple of days waiting to be picked up. So we were there as more buses pulled up to take them to processing facilities. People lined up. They got on board. I spoke to Adriana Yasso with the American Friends Service Committee, who says the number of migrants out here is concerning.
It is unusual to see over 500 people behind us. We have been documented in the last week and a half, groups of 120, 70, 50, 20, but not to the degree that we're seeing today. So the numbers in the last couple of days have grown.
And the majority of people, she says, that were out there today were from Colombia and North Africa. She told me that included a 24-year-old woman from Africa who was 8.5 months pregnant. She was experiencing labor pains. Border Patrol was alerted, and she was taken away, presumably to a hospital. So back out here live, just to be clear, this is not a situation where Border Patrol is picking up people at the border wall and simply bringing them here to the trolley station. All of the people who were dropped off here today were screened. They were processed. They have their court paperwork. They've been given those court dates. Border Patrol tells me that this is part of standard procedure to quickly decompress areas along the southwest border. Shannon and Carlo.
Kelly, we saw a lot of these similar images when Title 42 was lifted not too long ago, but do we know why so many migrants are now gathering again at the border wall?
Well, there is a lot of speculation about that. No one knows for sure. Some are saying because the situation in their home country has gotten so desperate, that's why more people are coming. Others say this is simply a situation where smugglers are ramping up efforts to really exploit these migrants. You know, I talked to Pedro Rios with the American Friends Service Committee, and he says he believes that is true. However, no one knows for sure. It could be a mixture of all of these things.
Yeah, and as we learned around Title 42, there's a lot of misinformation on both sides of the border, and that's one of the reasons we see these surges at times. Kelly Hessedal reporting live for us. Thanks, Kelly.
I mean, what they mean? What the reason is? I mean, obviously they want to come over to the country, right? But at the same time, I mean, I don't even know, man. It's just like it's crazy, man. Because I ain't gonna lie though. Certain things that America did to these people's countries, and made it war torn and stuff like that, made it to where these motherfuckers want to come over here. But Mexico is a different story though, because they've been had that's something I don't think the U.S. really had anything to do with their cartels, and they do. I mean, because the U.S. works with the cartel, but as far as you see what I'm saying, just that whole structure over there, I think I would doubt it. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't be surprised. But I know countries like Nicaragua and stuff like that. The reason why it is like that, the way it is out there, is because of America. I know that for sure. So Venezuela, places like that. America is shady. It's full of shit. and try to go in there and act like they the political, like the world police or something. So that's the problem. So I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you though. At the same time, um, I just be tripping out on America brings people to these countries, right? And they put them right in where our neighborhoods are at, and I just think that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's one thing about America. This place is good with division and divides. Make sure we divide so we won't come together. You see what I'm saying? They talk about African people. That's cool. That's fine and dandy and everything like that. How what's going on with everybody coming through Mexico border? Like what's going on with all these different groups and nationalities and different countries going through that border? Like what's going on with that? I'm just really it's just really just like I'm just tripping off that. It just baffles the mind. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't even know, but I'm just not feeling it the whole thing because I just don't like how America treats certain groups better than other groups, but we're still at the bottom. But America would just treat motherfuckers that are, a little bit closer to the top better than the ones that are closer to the bottom. I really noticed that America's been like that for the longest time. So man, exactly. You know, um, so I mean, it's a thing too. Just like India, America will bring Indian people over, and then they'll make it to where they get well established. They'll get loans and grants to grants you don't have to pay back, but they'll make it to where they don't even have to you know they'll make it to where they get hooked up, and they're for sure going to get a business. You see what I'm saying in our neighborhood. So it's a real crazy thing because they're gonna make sure that they're gonna get a business or something like that. You see what I'm saying? And they're gonna make sure that it gets established in our where we dwell because they don't want you to own nothing. They don't want you to own nothing. They don't want us to own nothing. And then our politicians don't push that. You notice the politicians just push for us to vote, and that's it. And that really says a lot right there about your politicians if they're just pushing for you to vote. But see, it's crazy how they push for you to vote when there's nothing none of these people are going to do for you. So it's just like a deadlock, you know, um, thing that we facing right there. A little, situation. Um, how you gonna vote for a group that's not gonna do nothing for you anyway? It's just very interesting how that worked. I'm just like, but we keep falling for it though, man. And it's a cycle. The older generation fall for it, then the younger generation fall for it. You see what I'm saying? But we talk about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all these people and these leaders or whatever from before. But see, a lot of that started. You know what I'm saying? The grassroots that started early though. That started when they were lit, when they were young. So I mean, it would probably what you think would take the youth to just basically change course and move us to a different agenda, man, and change the narrative for us. Maybe I don't know, but all I know is I just think the elders got to start listening more to the youth too, man. When we talk, I notice the elders don't really do that like that. They don't really be listening like that. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, certain ones do, but um, I don't know. I don't even know, man. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at this like, but I mean, it's going on, man. It's going on in New York. It's going on in Chicago. It's just like, but these democratic cities, you see it the most. And I mean, these policies is just, no policy for you. But I get it though because there's something with the word black that's just not, if they don't honor that in law, then it's like, what would you think? What kind of, policy or what would you think that they could, make up that would what I mean that would oblige with a certain kind of contract because everything's a contract. So if it don't black has no standing in law, then black has no standing. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't stand through with a binding contract. Does that make sense? So I mean, I don't know, y'all. I mean, so I can see why. And then Joe Biden said, "Oh, if you ain't black, if you don't vote for me," I can see why he says stuff like that because that word "black," what is that? You see what I'm saying? It's nothing. You feel me? They don't even describe nobody on this planet. Nobody on this planet is black. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why we you know, but at the same time though, if we're in the proper selves, you see what I'm saying, and the proper we represented ourselves in the proper way, then we could push for some kind of legislation. But at the same time, you got these gatekeepers over here, basically not siding with us at all, and basically going against us every step and chance they take and they get, um, and they go against us real good too, man. It's just like they go against us real good. They don't play, they straight up they're just straight up against us, man. They ain't fucking with us, you know what I'm saying? And then so but that's the other thing, that's the thing that other groups have and the advantage they have over us, man. You know what I'm saying? They're people, you know. I don't know, but so it's a crazy little situation, man. It's just like it's just a lot of division. We already divided, I already know, but it's just more and more things that and then you got this thing with Israel, and that's just gonna keep us in a divided kind of mindset too, because now what I'm saying, and in the media, and see these how scandalous these people are, and because they ain't gonna tell you that Israel is basically, you see what I'm saying, they Bin Laden and them had their Al Qaeda, or excuse me, Taliban, right? And that was all funded by the U.S., right, to go against the Soviets, right? Just like the what's the name, the Mossad had the Hamas to go at the PLO. You see what I'm saying? And the PLO is a Palestinian liberation organization. So, I mean, I don't know. But see, the news media slick because they have everybody divided. You see what I'm saying? They report on this and they have you divided because what I'm saying, they try to show you and tell you how terrible Palestine is and how terrible people at the Gaza on the Gaza Strip is. You see what I'm saying? But leave out the fact. Don't tell you why this conflict is going on, right? Don't tell you the fact that Palestine was taken by Israel, right? And it was called Israel, right? Renamed Israel. They ain't gonna tell you none of that. They're not gonna tell you that what's the name was shunned two different times. Um, uh, Benya, Benya, what's the name? But you know what I mean. But yeah. So I mean, I don't know Benyahu. So I mean, so I mean, it's just crazy, man. I mean, I'm just not even tripping, man, off this because I already know what I already see. You notice how this kind of stuff happened right after they said that they're not going to give Ukraine any more money. Um, and then Benyahu, whatever his name is, said straight up said, Benyahu, whatever his name is, said that it was basically a 2-for-1 exchange type thing. Like they're not going to accept money if Ukraine's not going to get any money. So it was real interesting how this type of stuff plays out, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's very proxy, this whole war that's going on anyway. Um, they basically talking about you know what I'm saying, bombs and stuff like that. I mean, they're talking about and then they're talking about, people coming on hang gliders and attacking people at a concert. But why would you have a concert if all this was going on? Why would there even be a concert? You know, that's just like a certain part of America being invaded. You know, but then they still having a concert in that same part of America that's being invaded. That doesn't make no sense. But see, you know, a lot of this stuff don't make no sense to the media, but they get us with the emotions, and you know, we automatically just feel, we don't think. So you know, we're just automatically in our feelings. So that's how they get us with that one, and it works every time. So but yeah, man, this is gonna be very interesting how all this stuff gonna play out. It's just basically one big fundraiser. You know, they got to GoFundMe and everything for Ukraine and for, excuse me, and for Israel. Um, they have all these stories saying all this stuff happened, but you know, why would these people spend and waste their time in a country that's heavily armed by army and by security, and just to go door to door and shoot and kill people when they could be caught by the army and get killed themselves? I don't understand. Why didn't they just blow anything up? My bad for even saying that. So I don't know, y'all. It's just interesting how this stuff is playing out, man. So even with that, but my thing was, what the point was, that why I brought that up is because this is Division Two. Everybody is gonna, you know, spin it, flip it, bounce it. Everybody's gonna, you know, basically, in how the news has been already doing. You know, right? You know, so we're gonna see how this stuff plays out, man. You know, you know, it's a real interesting thing how this stuff has been playing out, man. So yeah, so I'm probably gonna get off here, man. I don't see anybody tuning in, tapping in. I just wanted to get on here, man. I haven't been on here in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Just to basically talk about let me play another video real quick. Kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Hold up. And then I'm gonna get off, but and I'm gonna make another video about this another time. So hold up. All right, y'all. Fair use, 1976, on section 107. This gives me fair use to report on this video, commentary purposes and educational purposes, all right, and criticism purposes. All right, so let me share the screen real quick. But just yeah, man, it's like, I mean, these Democrat cities, man, they really, you know, um, they're really, you know, just getting, it's really getting out of hand. But I could see if they was helping the people of the city, and I could see if there was really no homelessness, and I could really see if there was, you know what I'm saying, hardly any poverty. Like I could just see if it was different in the United States to helping people out from other countries. I don't think people would look at it the same way. I don't even. It kind of really wouldn't even be help if you kind of think about it. Like, you know what I'm saying, right? Um, you know what I'm saying. So I mean, right? What you think? Um, so I don't know, man. So let's get into this. I mean, it wouldn't. It would be the same. You see what I'm saying? People, shoot, I know people wouldn't. We wouldn't be criticizing. What would we have to say? If we was getting treated right here, we wouldn't be saying nothing. We'd be like, it's all good. Shit, bring them motherfuckers over, man. You know what I'm saying? They probably got some bad women or something. I don't know. Let me see. But not even now. Seriously though. But it's a whole different dynamic when we not getting treated right. Right? That's just like you know, like somebody getting new on your job, they hired them and then they getting paid more than you, and you got the same position. You've been there longer, right? Or something. It's just something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, right? What you think? You know, and then the thing is, they put them in hotels and just like, you know what I'm saying? My thing is, I mean, they're human beings. Don't get me wrong, but It's just like you treating them better than the homeless because shit, just laws are saying that you can't even feed the homeless, right? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. More division, right? More. This is making people change sides, so pick sides. So guess what? You picking sides. That's causing people to have to be desensitized to certain situations and certain people, right? What do y'all think? What y'all think? All right, let me play this. Sorry about that. I'm over here bullshit.
Humane to welcome people, only to have them sleeping on floors and buildings and in tents that cannot withstand the wind of Chicago. Brandon Johnson ran on the promise that he would listen to our community. And in the beginning of this crisis, stated that he would not re-traumatize those communities that are still suffering from the impact of school closing, red line, and violence. We are here today demanding that the city of Chicago and Brandon Johnson stop disrupting park programs, taking away from our children and families that depend on those services. We want him to stop using public school buildings as housing because they're not zoned as such. And specifically for this building was promised to the community, and our children deserve a high school. A high school, we want to reopen this as one because we do not have a neighborhood high school. That school over there is not a neighborhood school. It's a selective enrollment that actually restricts our neighborhood kids from going. So that's a violation of our civil rights, and we want this building. We pay taxes for it. We are also demanding a full independent audit of how our tax money is being spent.
That's right.
We still have a homeless crisis. Black Americans have the highest rate of homelessness, including youth. We want to know how they're being housed, if they're being housed, what money is being spent on them. We need to know how money is being spent on our education system. Well, we now see that Chicago public schools and all city agencies are focusing on migrant children. Right. Migrant children deserve to have equal access to education, and so does Black children who have historically been denied that right. This is an example of that. Building being closed when there's high school students all around here who have to travel far to go to school. My daughter travels 15 miles outside of her neighborhood to go to school. How dare the city of Chicago try to take this building, make her walk past a building that they're giving to people they're allowed to come here illegally, and have her go past a half-empty building on the corner that she can't go to school. And she is a symbol of majority of Black children in the city of Chicago that are being denied rights, that are not being seen in this crisis that has been engineered. Again, we're not here saying we're against individual people who cross this border. We're mad at our government for putting them against us. Right. Because that is what's happening. Right. Plain and simple. Yes. The residents of South
No, she's right. That's exactly what they're doing. That's a good point. You know, when they're gonna try to say, and everybody else is gonna try to say, oh, they don't, it's a race thing, and they don't, it's this, and they don't like that because they're migrants, they're illegal, and this and that. But it's just like she just made a good point, man. It's just like it ain't even about that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about that. It's about basically not just put them in their community. Like that's not right. You know what I mean? Well, we don't. That's why we don't have communities now, though. It's because stuff like this. And you know what? Why else we don't have communities? Because of redlining and gentrification and stuff like this. And the fact too that when they were doing the redlining back in the day, they were making it to where you were most likely going to be a renter instead of a homeowner. You know what I'm saying? By the redlining and by by the predatory lending practices that the banks and stuff like that was doing on us with homes and stuff like that, and appraisal fraud and stuff like that. The racial appraisal of practices they was doing, and it's all types of stuff, man. But the thing is, see, these people who come from other countries, they come here, they don't experience stuff like that. They don't hear. It's. I mean, I'm not saying they should, but the worst things that they've experienced and stuff like that was put past them when they came to this country, and you know what I mean, in their own country they experienced. But that's it. But why? It's my question is, why do we have to experience people that were indigenous to this land like us, why do we have to experience the trauma and all this type of stuff here, the horrors and stuff in this country that we're from? You see, and people come here and they don't. It's interesting. That's my question. You see what I'm saying? And I'm really just trying to, see if anybody feels me on that one. You know, but she's right, man. It's just they're putting people, of course they're gonna put them against y'all. They talk about the schools. They want the schools to fail because if the schools fail, you see what I'm saying? The more schools fail, the more schools fail. Wow. The more schools fail, sorry about that. Then the more people that they put in prison. You see what I'm saying? The more, you know, that's the thing about that's how that works. You know what I mean? And I mean, we don't get it, man. We don't get it because I don't think we were really tripping off this, man. How this type of dynamic and stuff like this is affecting us, man. Because we got so much, we have entertainment. So as long as we have entertainment, we good. As long as we can be entertained, you see what I'm saying? Then we're basically we're in a good light. Um, yeah, man. I'm just really tripping off the whole thing, man. Just like, um, just really just like it's just crazy how this type of stuff is playing out. But I'm not surprised. But she's right. They're putting us against them, man. That's the whole point. Divide and conquer, right? You know what I'm saying? We keep fighting each other, we're not gonna come together. That's how that works, right?
Sure deserve a high quality high school. We deserve services. Our parks deserve to be open. We have present here people from Taylor Park. Taylor Park is located in the Robert Taylor community. We all know what happened with Robert Taylor, right? Thousands of Black Americans were displaced, and the city of Chicago has been threatening these poor families to take away their park. That's not fair. They have football teams, they have the cheerleading teams. Their kids are engaged socially. They need those services. Let's talk about the West Side. Last night, you guys saw the West Side. We were proud of them.
That's right.
If no one can understand, their Black family can understand why they turned up in that meeting, because it is still is an injustice. It is an injustice. It's disingenuous, and it's not right for these people to come into our communities when we are suffering now. Brandon Johnson, go on your word. You cannot be elected into this office and ignore the people who got you here.
That's right.
We're not playing with you.
Say that again.
So today, we're here to say we want justice. We want the city to be more transparent. We want you to stop blatantly throwing the migrants anywhere.
Right.
We don't want tents built in Roseland.
That's right.
We don't want our park programs being taken away. And we want the city to work with our community in a genuine manner. So today we have, like I said, we have people here who are going to speak from various communities, but we also want to talk about our lawsuit. We're going to first have Frank Avila come up to talk a little bit about the lawsuit, and after him, we're going to have a resident, Jimmy Jones.
Hey, Frank Avila. Hey.
Hey, Frank.
How you doing? You know me, Frank.
I do know you.
All right, then.
Good afternoon. My name's Frank Avila. I'm the attorney for Natasha Dunn, who's one of the plaintiffs. Dr. Jones is one of the plaintiffs, and the South Shore neighbors. The first thing that this lawsuit is about is for South Shore High School to reopen as a high school for this community.
Yes.
And if for some reason that was not possible, which is what they want, not what I want, not what some other community wants, what this community wants, is it for it to be reopened for community purposes.
Right.
When Rahm Emanuel was mayor, 80% of the school closings were in African-American areas.
Right.
And although he will argue that it was because of a decrease in African American population,
you see, y'all see that Rahm Emanuel? That was Barack Obama's boy, right? That was Barack Obama's boy. And you see what happened? I remember that I remember his term, right? It was Chicago was looking bad when Obama and him was in office. I'm sorry. They see you appoint this person to Chicago specifically to just educate the so-called black population, to dismantle the so-called black population, to shut down the so-called black population, to just really make them feel more just useless, like you know what I mean, like provide a less hope and more negativity for the black population out there, right? Why wasn't how come none of school, Latino schools in the Latino areas, Little Village and the North Side and all? Why were none of those schools closed down? You see, I mean, it's a deliberate agenda against us because we're the indigenous people of this land. But at the same time, these people are taking advantage because they know they know we don't know who our true self, and they know we're not in our true self. You see what I'm saying? Let me play a little bit more of this real quick.
which may be partially true, he did not care about the communities and what happened in them, and the resources were taken out. This community has a food desert. It's higher in crime than average of other parts of the city. And by the way, somebody came on and attacked me when we were in a press conference last time and said, oh, you're saying the people in Backyard are criminals. No, that's not what I'm saying. Although some people are criminals who reformed their lives, very few, and they said, now we are reformed our lives and we are ex-convicts. But I'm not saying the people in back of me are criminals. What I'm saying is they recognize that some of them live in higher crime areas. I'm not sure why people cannot understand that nuance, why they can't understand the distinction, and they want to divide people and not have any nuance, any complexity, and simplify the issues. So the first thing, and I'm going to repeat it, is to turn this school back into a school, a high school for this community, so people don't have to travel 15 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, and they can stay here. And for this building to be for the community, which was promised to them, a commitment, an oral contract, a contract with this community. The second thing is, and this community and these plaintiffs also care about the migrants themselves. And this immigration industrial complex and these poverty pimps don't care. Because after the state has spent $500 million, $350 million a quarter, the city of Chicago has allocated or spent $100 million, first $30 million, then $51 million, and now $20 million for a security company. You should not have people sleeping in tents outside when winter is coming.
You see all that money? They get money for these people, man. They get money for even having them, man. They got a security company, man. Then why is there still crime out there, man? Y'all see where I'm getting at with this? He said the migrant industrial complex. These Democrats is cold, man. They they're not your friends. You know what I'm saying? That I respect the straight up white racist or whoever racist person because I know where they stand. The Democrat is the sneaky snake. It's the sly fox. That's you know what I'm saying. That's who the Democrat is. Them motherfuckers laying in the field somewhere in the bushes, right, waiting to get you, right, waiting to ambush you. You see what I'm saying? It's not a surprise, man. I don't see how but see, we're gonna keep voting Democrat no matter what, though. That's just what we do. And we got elders. We got family members, we got elders, we got people that'll pressure us and we don't and get mad at us. Right? I don't know, it's crazy, man. What y'all think? I mean, dude is spitting. But see, this guy is a lawyer or attorney, whatever the fuck, right? There is a difference. let's just say he's a lawyer, right? So most of these, y'all know, most of these politicians and most of these presidents and former presidents and new presidents, and except for Trump, they were lawyers. Do y'all know that? Do y'all know Barack Obama was a lawyer? Do you know that Clinton was a lawyer? Do you know that Clinton's wife was a lawyer? Do you know what I'm saying? And some of them were even prosecutors. How about that? See, we don't think. So lawyer turnover, attorney turnover, right? You know what I'm saying? Lawyer is somebody that's versed in law, or a jurist. So you see what I'm saying? But at the same time, these people know how to tell you what you want to hear. These people know how to lie. People know how to coerce you. You right? They know about pun. They know about play on words. They know, these people know. These people study. They don't just study law. They study the language of the law. They study jurisprudence. They study words and phrases, and right. So I mean, I don't know. We're just not gonna get it because we don't be getting it.
Winter is coming. You should not have people sleeping on police room floors when you've spent $600 million. That's crazy. I could have put them in the Drake, the Peninsula,
So $60 million. See, so let you know, these people just steal money. You get money for the damn migrants, and then you got them sleeping on the floor. So it's just a money grab. But see, honestly, these people tell you to vote, but there's never going to be no initiatives to vote against stuff like this. There's never going to be no initiative to vote against term limits. There's never going to be no initiative to get vote against you know what I'm saying? Stop paying taxes. Never could be no initiative. You see what I'm saying? To make it to where these politicians don't get bribed, can't go with the special interest group, can't go with the lobbyists, right? They ain't gonna never be nothing like that. But see, that's why I vote. We talk about the black, black people, we oppressed. Black people, we use that word black. Black, we oppressed, we this and that, man. We don't, people be treating us fucked up. We get the short end of the stick. Oh man, we ain't, man, shit, as a people, what I'm saying, it is what it is. But at the same time, it's crazy though, because we're not trying to put our money together still at the end of the day. We're still not trying to aggravate our money. Makes no damn sense. Not trying to aggregate your money, right? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? We still trying to complain. It's interesting. All right, so let me get off here real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me play like five more minutes. I'm gonna get off here, man.
Ritz Carlton and the Palmer House saved the taxpayer dollars 75%, spent 25% of that, give myself $1 million salary. All my friends could have got salaries and fed them, and everybody would be fine. This is an outrageous amount of money, and there needs to be an audit now. There needs to be an audit.
You just said something.
Now.
Just like, for example, when you get hit with a child support case or something like that, and you're a man, they'll audit you on and stuff like that. But why are you not auditing? See, they're not going to audit nothing, even if the FBI, if the Internal Revenue Service thinks there's any kind of mishap or something like that on your taxes, they're going to audit you. Believe I've been audited a couple times. I ain't going front. Let's just keep it 100. Right? I know how that shit works. They're going to audit you, a person that's actually paying taxes, which you shouldn't be paying taxes, right? Because there's no laws saying that you should be paying taxes. But anyway, they're not going to audit, them allocating all. And then look, I remember back in the day, they gave Jeff Fort, they gave the Black Pea Stones, or the disciple, I think, the Black Pea Stones. They gave the Black Pea Stones like $1 million. But guess what? They audited that money fast and quick in a hurry. So when you give a street organization, $1 million, you want to audit that because you call them criminals. But at the same time, these people in suits, they're the criminals, but you don't audit them for allocating $60 million for a migrant crisis. And it don't even go to the migrants, or it don't even go to helping the migrant. See, these black people smart because they these people. Damn, I keep saying that word black. These people, melanated people are smart, man. Over here in Chicago because they're suing on this. They're just brilliant. It's not just suing because the migrants. They're suing. And look at. I mean, listen to what the lawyer is brilliant. They're going off the basis of look, you guys are allocating funds, misallocating funds. Ooh, y'all turning the migrants against us, and you misallocating funds. Brilliant, brilliant. That's brilliant. They're gonna win. These people gonna win. I'm gonna play a little bit more. He's clowning. 60 million. See, when any kind of democratic policy, they'll waste money. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no audit. Ain't gonna be none of that. It's a Democrat. Oh shit, it's a Democrat. Oh shit, man, give him as much as he motherfucking wants. As a matter of fact, let's give some more money to Ukraine in this bitch. So we're gonna give it to Israel, and they're gonna give whatever to Ukraine. Fuck it, let's do that. Let's do that immediately, right now. You can't make it up, man.
Moreover, there also needs to be a commensurate investment into long-term residents, including immigrants, this community, African American communities, low-income communities, and communities that are in the.
I just thought about this. You notice like they'll have people talking or something like that and representing the people that the funds got allocated to, like the people from the city or whatever little groups. I noticed that a lot of them are Hispanic. Most of the people speaking from. But my thing is, if these people are African and if these people coming from, all different type of races, then why is it mostly Hispanic people like speaking up for it? I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just kind of confused on that. Like, okay, but yeah, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, man, it is what it is. Let's keep going.
Deprived of resources, where there's food deserts and crime and lack of schools and lack of opportunities, including South Shore, including the West Side. My son boxes at Taylor Park, which they're gonna want to take over and in that program. In Petrowski Park, which is in Little Village, which is heavily Mexican American community, Hispanic, mostly Mexican, with a good amount of undocumented, they've ended programs for children. I've gotten calls from parents of autistic adults who are now aged out of the school system, and they've ended their programs. This is not residents versus migrants or citizens versus migrants. This is about putting migrants in residential housing. McCormick Center at 3,000 beds was actually for a quasi-residential. You don't put them in tents outside in Chicago winters. You don't put them on floors of police stations. Moreover, one of the reasons why some places have high crime, one, it's inhumane for people to live on floors of police stations where you don't have showers or sanitation, where you have people coming in and out of germs, where you don't have proper bathrooms, etc. It's bad for the police officers who are living in unsanitary conditions, unsafe conditions that are not OSHA. OSHA should come in and shut that down. And how can we have public security and safety and police properly preventing crime or resolving crime and having a police presence when now they're residential housing?
That's right.
Somebody is making money off of this. A lot of money.
Show us the money.
And there needs to be an audit. This community needs to be protected. Other communities need to be protected. This is not black versus Hispanic. This is not immigrant versus citizen. This is about what's doing right. This is about what's being humane and being sensible and fiscally responsible. And this is about not ignoring communities. Now, we filed a lawsuit back in May, and it did temporarily stop the city.
See, the Democrats is brilliant. They smart because you know why? They're smart because they're gonna do this, and then they're gonna make it to where it's us versus the you know what I'm saying? Us versus the Democrat. I mean the migrants or the immigrants. That's brilliant, man. Black versus Mexican. But see, damn, that lets you know that this. I mean, my question is: there's 15,000 migrants or whatever, immigrants or whatever, got dropped off in San Diego like 3-4 days ago out here in California, and they're different races. They're not just, you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all. I don't know. You know, it's so. I mean, that's. I'm just. It is. I'm interested. It's interesting. But he just said, little village, and that's Mexican. Why are they not? Why are the migrants, if they're mostly Hispanic or all these terms? You know what I'm saying? Latinx, whatever phrases you want to. You know what I'm saying? If they're not these terms, if they're not that, why are they not? Why they're not placing them in Little Village where there's mostly Mexican people? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know, but see, I do get it because it's divide and conquer, and then they want us to fight, and they want us to argue, and then all they got to do is just go back, and we're not going to point fingers at the Democrats. We're just going to point fingers. You see what I'm saying? We're not going to point fingers at Democrats. So let me go over here. Let me get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play more of this next time. Well, let me play what he just said real quick. What he's gonna say, because this is interesting right here.
Did not put any migrants into South Shore School. And maybe we thought we won. But now there's buses and buses coming in, and we had information that they were going to now put people here. And we decided to refile it, make it better, amend the complaint, refile a new suit that was more comprehensive, and also address some of the concerns and some of the responses and answers that people had. So, and I know some of you had questions on that. So we've sent the lawsuit out. I can send you all copies today too after this. And a new lawsuit has been filed. And we may add other communities to this lawsuit. We haven't decided yet. The priority for this lawsuit for me as a lawyer is my clients and the South Shore neighbors and South Shore High School. However,
if they were smart, if other communities were smart, they would go join in with them on the lawsuit, and they would get their own lawyer, right? They would make it a class act. I mean, it'd be that much bigger. But see, we're not gonna do that because we don't stick together like that. We don't like each other like that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to really, really having to do something and put in some work that is gonna help us for the better, we're not gonna do it. As a matter of fact, you see what I'm saying? We're gonna make excuses about doing it. We're gonna act. The excuses are gonna be so brilliant. It's so vibrant to the point where, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna make it seem like fuck it, we don't even need to do it because talking about it, we did it. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I'm gonna holla at y'all. You see what I'm saying? It's just interesting, man. They try to play us out, man. They try to divide and conquer, man, and divide us and play us against each other. That's the number one thing that they do. They're really good at doing that. They've been doing that for the longest time. They even do that with their people in their countries, right? Fund both sides, the wars and all this crazy stuff, just like they doing, you know what I mean? Just like, you know what I mean? Israel's doing over there right now, then America's kind of funded both sides too, because I'm not saying Iran has anything to do with it, but you're going to fund some Muslims, and then it's interesting. You fund some Muslims $6 billion, and then you go fund some. You know what I'm saying? But you was already funding Ukraine already, and you fund Israel before, but then all of a sudden you see what I'm saying? You fund $6 billion to some Saudi. To Iran too. It's just like, that's America been doing it, for the longest time. England been doing it. All types of people been doing it. That's just the name of the game. Rockefeller. That's some Rockefeller stuff. What else? What's old boy's name? What's the other one? Not Rockefeller. Not Carnegie. It's Rothschild and you know what I'm saying. And what's the other dude? J.P. Morgan, and those are the type of stuff that these people did and do. You see what I'm saying? Right? I don't know, man. I don't know. So check this out. So I'm gonna continue this, man. We're gonna do another one. We're gonna continue to continue the show, and I'm gonna the next show I'm gonna break down Damn, man. Probably tomorrow night. That'd be cool. I'll probably do something tomorrow night, man. I'm gonna break down the whole thing with the Chicago Housing Authority, man. How they was doing how they was doing us in the Chicago Housing Authority and the contractors at the same time. But really, that was really on the Housing Authority though. So it's just another thing, and it makes you really think: why pay taxes? Why am I paying taxes? And the people of Cabrini Green, the people of Robert Taylor Homes, those people was getting treated like that in this Chicago Housing Authority, man. And it's just like, because you can still be working, you still on the social government assistance, but you're still paying taxes if you work. So but I mean, some of the people probably didn't have, but whatever the case is, you see what I'm saying? It's just like still, you're really indigenous to this land, and you're getting treated like that on this land. It's just really crazy and really interesting. But it's corporate greed, man. This is fascism at its finest. You see what I'm saying? We talk about capitalism, but at the same time, nobody talk about fascisms, right? The government and corporations bend and merge. It's been together in bed together. So that's old. There's nothing wrong with me calling this fascism because that's exactly what this is. You see what I'm saying? It been came together. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, look at how they did it. Dude is sharp, man. He's he's on it because they're not just suing for the migrants or whatever. They're suing for the fact that there's a misallocation of funds, right? You got $60 million funding, and these people are still 40 migrants. They're still sleeping on the damn floor in the damn police station, right? Um, so they want to audit for that, and they want, they're basically, suing on the fact that too, you see what I'm saying? Um, it's they're misallocating funds, and then they're really turning them against the people of over the seaside, south side, shore side, right? South Shore, my bad, South Shore. So I mean, and then I think the people of Hyde Park should be next. I think the people, you know what I'm saying? I mean, wherever you see them saying there's mostly people that look like us in these communities, they need to speak up, man. You know. So let me play a little bit more and I'm out of here, man. I kept saying that, but
This is a broader issue, both to help the migrants and to help other communities. People should not be living in parks and city colleges and schools. Benito Juarez in Pilsen, which was an Hispanic community until it was gentrified, is now they want to put people there. Now, should adults be with high school students? Should we take out gyms so people cannot have programs in sports? This doesn't make any sense. This is illogical. It's stupid. It's bad policy. It's bad decision making.
And they're undocumented.
And also, it's a federal issue. It's a federal issue. The federal government needs to fund it, and the federal government needs to take all these migrants, vet them properly, and make sure there's standards, and then disperse them throughout the 300 or so municipalities, as well as suburban, rural, small town areas throughout the United States. Not just New York City and Chicago. Not just New York City and Chicago.
Right? They get that, right? You know about the tourists? The tourists, what they do to Native Americans? They're doing the same thing again. They're doing the same thing again, bro. They're illegal, right? They're illegal. Right now, Brandon Johnson and the Democrats are criminals. They're locking up guys from smoking and drugs and trafficking people across the thing. The dry government's doing it right now.
Right.
We're going to sue the bosses. We're going to sue the Democrats as civilians because God Smith, the agents, represent the people they voted for. The agents. I'm a support the agent. If I don't have represent my clients, they fire me. Yeah. It's time to fire. Don't let the Democrats have that stupid convention here next year. Enough's enough. All I see, right, is the citizens of Chicago marching to the gas chamber. Ever since these scumbags came across the border, ever since these European scumbags came across the border,
Come on with
Thank
it.
you. We appreciate it.
Hey,
Thank you for your point.
Okay, let me say this. Thank you for that. I want to let me.
I mean, Cass is passionate, man. I mean, shit. He was like, I mean, Cass. I mean, see, the thing is, like, people come to this country, whatever. You know, what I'm saying it's all good, but it's just like, I mean, there should be. I mean, y'all over here want to bring people over here. Okay, you should already have certain areas that you want to put them and make it to where. I mean, put them with their own people, man. I don't understand. If all these people have a nationality from Mexico, that's fine. Put them in a Hispanic area. What's wrong with that? I don't get it. I don't. It's just that it's divide and conquer. They want us to fight, man. They want us to beef with each other. They want us to not get along. That's why. I mean, that's just. I don't think that's right. We already don't have a community as it is as so-called black people, right? We calling each other black, something that's not even don't even exist. White don't even exist. How about that? But you know what I'm saying? Free white person in the dictionary does have standing. I wouldn't even say standing, but there is something in the dictionary for free white person because guess what? They weren't free. You see what I'm saying? That's another topic. That's for another show. So but white is still not doesn't mean anything though. You see what I'm saying? It's still there's no such thing as that, right? There's no color as white. So I mean, we just gotta really, man, just pay attention, man, to what the propaganda and the narrative that people are trying to put and push in front of our faces are, man. Uh, and take heed to the fact that we're getting played by these people. These people are trying to play you. These people don't give a damn about you. You see what I'm saying? They don't give a damn about me. They don't, you know what I'm saying? It really is that simple. It's not brain surgery. It's not rocket science to figure out that we should really um, just go against this whole little system that they got going, man. It's just and just do us right. Aggregate our money. Segregation, integration. That's not really the key. The key is aggregation. Aggregate our money. Put our money together. Have an agenda with it, and let it take its course. That's simple. That's simple. Trust each other. Speak to each other. Love each other. That's the key. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we're not gonna do though. I think that's hard for a lot of us, man. We talk all that stuff, man. Easier said than done because we look at each other like we're the worst in our worst enemies anyway. So I mean, let me see what she gonna say real quick, and I didn't know he was gonna come in like that though. He was mad. I don't blame him. So let me see what she gonna say real quick before I get off here, man.
I want to I want to bring this back because we're saying a lot, right? Okay, but to be clear again, he's right. There's a lot that's happened. A lot of that anger and outrage that you see is warranted, right? I mean, we've been through so much in our communities that when we see stuff like this is traumatic for us. This is traumatic for the people in our community. So we want to have Jay come up real quick, and then we're gonna have someone from Woodline speak, and then we're gonna ask questions. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Good evening. My name is Jay Darnell Jones. That is J period DARNELLJONES. And I am a co-plaintiff on this lawsuit. And I am also the president of the South Shore Park Neighborhood Association. We are here to protect the legacies of our community, period. The lawsuits that we have filed was not necessarily meant to be a catalyst for other lawsuits around the country, but if that happens to be the case, so be it. While we have been doing our research for the information that we have provided, of course, we found systemic issues in that research. We know that it's not just South Shore High School or South Shore that's impacted by the items listed in our lawsuit. For our purposes, though, as Natasha mentioned, we have students, we have children in our community who live in that house or this house, who walk right past this school every day, or whose parents drive them past this school every day to spend an hour in traffic just to get them to school. We as a community were sold on a negative dream with regard to selective enrollment schooling. Selective enrollment schooling in South Shore means we have children who are in the school building right around the corner that are not even from our community. How are we as a community to engage them? How are we as a community to support the school when the school has no interest in us? That's our question, and that's what we are trying to answer in our lawsuit against the Chicago Public Schools. We want to make sure if they look at the data that we have, there is no reasonable explanation as to why this school should not be a community school. Also, in terms of the migrant situation, initially it was, oh, you guys are anti-migrant. That is not the case. That is not the case. Regardless of where someone comes from, that is correct. They need to be treated with dignity, kindness, and open arms. We do.
See, this is what see. This is how dumb people are. Just like you, so you saying you don't you're not for Biden, you're not feeling Biden. Don't vote for Biden, something like that. That people automatically say you're a Trump supporter. What does being a Trump supporter have to do with you saying don't vote for Biden? I don't understand that. You can't make this type of stuff up, man. Um, I'm just like, really, we really be serious with this, man. Like, so yeah, man. I'm just like, what I'm saying, really tripping off this whole thing and just really trying to evaluate everything, man, from a certain standpoint. Um, it's like, why does it have to be one or another with people? People are so stupid and simple minded and square minded that why do we have to pick and choose? Why does it have to be? I just don't understand that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. People. That's why I don't follow people. I don't get influenced by people, man, because people are so stupid. Um, you know what I'm saying? Why I gotta be anti-migrant if I'm not feeling them being over here in our community, so-called community neighborhood. It's just stupid. It's stupidity. But I guess I bet you it's other so-called black people asking them that question and saying that, putting that talking point out there. I bet you it's people that look like us doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because we stupid like that. We're not us. You know what I mean?
Do know the impact of mass immigration on Black communities. I said that in the first press conference we had back in May, and I'll say it again. That hasn't gone anywhere. It's been ignored, but it hasn't gone anywhere. The other items that we have spoken about and that our lawsuit speaks about is the fact that swimming or drowning is one of the second leading causes of death for teenage or adolescent youth, Black youth. There's an Olympic-sized swimming pool in this school. Mm-hmm. So without the access to programs like swimming in this building, we are harming our children. Without us being able to manage who comes into our communities and not just inside the building. Remember, they told us they had rules and regulations for migrants inside the building, but not outside the building. So when they touch us, there are no rules and regulations that are going to be followed. There's no 24-hour police presence. There's no any of that that was promised to us in that meeting back in May or April or whenever it was. But the bottom line is this. As the representative for the South Shore Park Neighbors Association, I say our number one interest is this community. It is this community. It is the safety of our community. It is protecting the legacies of those who came before us in this community. And it is to make this high school a community high school so that our kids are safe. Our parents are not overly overly harmed by having to travel so far out of the community. It is to provide time for families to spend together and not be in traffic all day. It is to provide time for our children to have study time versus being so tired for having to travel for extracurricular activities and other activities. So this is again about South Shore Park neighborhood. It's about us. It's not about anything else that you may hear out there. Thank you.
Hi. Okay. Thank you. So we're gonna so while this particular lawsuit, we also are welcoming other communities into this conversation because we all have something common. We're all really upset, for lack of a better word, about what's happening across the city of Chicago. And we recognize that as a collective, standing together is that much more powerful. So I have someone represented from Woodline. Roseland, and then we'll take questions.
My name is Andre Smith, ANDRESMITH. I'm the first person to stop the bus with the migrants in Wadsworth.
Okay.
Today is a sad day in Chicago.
Yes, you're right.
Just the other day, we were going through COVID.
Yeah.
Just the other day, we was going through COVID, losing our loved ones, separated from our family members and our friends. That's trauma. We haven't even got over that. Now schools are not being schooled, children are not being taught, parks are not being parked where kids can go and play, and police stations are not policing. All of them have one thing in common.
What's that?
They are hotels and shelters. Our taxpayer dollars did not grow up. I mean, did not go. We didn't pay our taxes for that.
Not at all.
Not at all.
We did not grow up as kids with a dream or a vision for what Chicago looked like right now, Brandon Johnson.
Every damn where.
So we're calling on the mayor and
Oh
the
boy in the
governor
back row.
to freeze the language of sanctuary city.
Freeze.
Wait.
That's right.
When you go to court, you gotta have grounds.
You gotta have ground.
Grounds is because there's no plan.
That's right.
There was no plan.
That's
And
right.
there still today is no plan.
No plan.
And then we want you to show us the money. Anyone else would have been in federal penitentiary.
That's right. Stealing that damn money.
The U.S. Marshals would have went and got them.
Yeah.
So we asking
Tell 'em
Brandon
that.
to be
Where's-
transparent.
Yeah.
We asking the governor to be
Hey,
transparent,
somebody.
because how in the world over $6 million been spent
Yeah.
and there's no accountability?
No accountability. Hey, come here, hey. Sit all the ass back. All of them. I don't feel sorry for them. Them little babies.
Yo, who is that? The dude, oh boy, that old dude right there in the bed on the side. He talking shit, man. He yelling. Oh, that shit is my bad. Nah, but I mean, see, I only got 2 views, right? But see, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm a real motherfucker because check this out. I'm not reporting on no dumbass Jada fucking Will Smith and Jada Pinkett a relationship and all that. We honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. We know that we like to be entertained, and they know all we have to do is come up with some dumbass story from a dumbass celebrity. You see what I'm saying? And we'll tell or report that. You see what I'm saying? And we're gonna go Google Gaga over that. We're gonna go crazy. We're gonna go nuts over that. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna go crazy over that because the simple fact. You see what I'm saying? That the simple fact that we know that we like to be entertained, and we know that we're gonna get a lot of views and clickbaits and all that from that. So let me throw an entertaining story out real quick for some entertainers that don't give a fuck about you, that ain't doing nothing for the community, right? So I mean, we just be tripping, man.
They rent anyway.
Good evening. My name is Tanisha Peoples. That is Tanesha Peoples, Peeples, and I reside on the far south side of Chicago in Roseland. Why are we here today? We're here today in the name of democracy, justice, and morality. We're here today because we have repeatedly told our elected officials.
Well, see, that's the problem. You talking about you going on democracy. There's no democracy is not good. That's my rule. Democracy, right? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know. We be tripping.
Officials know, and they've repeatedly ignored us. We're here today because us taxpayers are stuck with bills that we did not co-sign for. We're here today because checks have been written without our say-so, and when we ask where our money's going, we get no answers. We're here today because generations of historically marginalized communities who have pleaded for asylum for ourselves have been ignored.
Given the aforementioned reasons, we're here today with this lawsuit because we must finally force the people that are supposed to represent us for once to operate in our best interest. Someone posed a question on social media asking if Chicago should rescind its sanctuary city
Yes,
status.
yes, they should.
And that's when it dawned on me that Chicago isn't a sanctuary city.
That's right.
It's a business masking itself as a
Right.
safe harbor for
That's
new
right.
asylum seekers. Think about who benefits from an influx of migrants and how their benefit serves as a disadvantage and a detriment to taxpayers and historically marginalized communities. The beneficiaries are the companies that get the contracts to do the busing,
That's right.
build tents, housing, and provide other services.
Hey, black people getting that money.
That's right.
No.
The labor industry that can recruit migrants for
Catholic
low-wage
charities,
work,
they know damn
politicians,
good.
specifically flailing Democrats, who
That's
hope
right.
to win the newcomer support
No
and
damn
quid pro
good
quo
Democrat.
for providing asylum. This is why there's a rush to expedite work permits,
That's right.
IDs, and policies for asylum seekers to be able to
That's
vote.
illegal.
Yeah,
That's
say that.
illegal.
And finally,
Can't get no job.
Wow, she broke it down, man. That's what I was saying the other day on somebody's show. Look, especially that's exactly why they're trying to get them working, right? They're trying to, because like they said, it's a quick pro quo. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You vote for me, or or something, because you know, I'm gonna do something for you, or or you just allocate a certain kind of amount of funds for me. You, if you're illegal, you can't vote, say for per se. Then and because what I'm saying, the more money you get, a lot of times more chance you get at winning a campaign. A lot of times, you see what I'm saying, or greasing some elbows, or greasing a few palms, as that's what as they call it. You see what I'm saying, doing favors for people, whatever the case is. So, and these politicians a dirty game, but for the most part, man. So she's right. Just like I was saying the other day, my bad, on somebody's phone. I mean, live the other day about the getting having illegal people, illegals working, right? Have them working, and at the same time have them involved in some kind of union, right? And then you have them involved in the union and they're working. You see what I'm saying? Then you have them vote. See, they can vote now. If they're in a union, they can vote however they want or whenever they want, because for that union, doesn't matter if they're illegal or not. So they vote for the certain candidate, or whatever the case is. But at the same time, your union dues go to political contributions towards that candidate, right? So, like I said, once again, you get this person more money. You don't necessarily have to vote, right? But you get this person more money, the more chances he is going to win in the campaign. That's just how that goes. So it's a quick pro quo. Okay, you get more amount of money from me, right? And I'll do this for you. I mean, that's perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
And finally, the teachers union, whose membership and power will increase as the need for more educators, particularly those who specialize in ELL, grows because the student population grows. Ask yourself the question, why did the teachers union travel to Venezuela in 2019?
No, we gonna check the teachers union. Yeah,
So
we gonna check the teachers union.
So who
they
loses?
Ain't the only union in town.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't the only union in
All
town.
right. So
okay.
Who loses in this deal?
I'm a union man.
People in historically marginalized communities that will end up. I finished. Thank you. People in historically marginalized communities that will end up displaced or pushed out due to internal battles over housing and other critical resources. People in my community on the far south side of Chicago who've endured homelessness, blight, desolation, and oppression in the form of food apartheid at the site where the city proposes a migrant encampment be built. Our young and elderly people who can't enjoy their extracurricular activities at parks, public spaces that have served as safe havens in the city that has harmed them in every turn. And I want to highlight yesterday when the young people took a knee in defiance of the city's plan to remove their after school programs. We see what's happening in the streets. So what the city is telling these young people is we're going to take away your extracurricular activities and turn you over to these streets. So they want more blood on their hands. We're not going to let it. That's what they're telling us.
We're not going to let it. Black kids.
Everyone that suffers from inhuman.
So I've been telling y'all, man. You know, it's a school to prison pipeline, but not even just that. Um, you see what I'm saying? That makes sense. You know, I was just saying that a little while ago. The more raggedy and ran down the schools are, and you know what I'm saying, and the worse of the education that you get, you know, or it's going to persuade you not to even want to go to school, right? Or it's going to persuade you, you see what I'm saying, to not even just try hard or whatever the case is. Or in some cases, you go to school, you see what I'm saying, and you get a poor education. So, yeah, I mean, and you know, you put that and you add that with a single parent household, man, and no father, then you would get a recipe for disaster. You would actually get you know, the prison school to prison pipeline, right? You would actually get somebody that's going to go to prison. You would actually get somebody that's going to turn to the streets and gang bang and actually die or end up in prison. So she's right. They know that. You see, this is all a plan by the government. This is not. I mean, I don't understand how we don't think that these people are that smart, much smarter than us. I mean, we can't see the trick by now, but see, we're so much sucked into the cycle, and we're so caught up into dysfunction. We think that's functional. Dysfunctional, excuse me, is functional, right? We function in dysfunction, which how could you function, right? So we do that so much that we think that you know, the stuff is the abnormal is normal. You see what I'm saying? We cope, and we try to cope with certain things that we shouldn't. So she was spitting. Let me let her finish real quick, and we're gonna get out of here, man. I'm gonna get out of here.
Humanity due to reckless decisions made on behalf of our representatives. So this fight isn't against other marginalized groups. We empathize with their struggle as people that have suffered 404 years of poverty, racism, marginalization, and state-sanctioned violence in this country that we built. It's against the callous handling and denial of long sought asylum for Black people. It's about respect, fairness, equity, morality, and humanity. It's against representatives that have never represented us. And right now, right here, right now, we're demanding that representation from our elected officials, whether they're wanting to do it or not.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, we're gonna have one more speaker from Taylor Park. She's gonna represent Taylor Park. Hi, everybody. Thank y'all for allowing us to come and speak. My name is Marjani Williams. I'm here representing myself, honestly, and my son. We've been trying to do this work to save Taylor Park in the Brownsville community. I don't know if folks are familiar with Taylor Park, but it is named after Robert Taylor for the Robert Taylor homes that were demolished and thousands of Black folks were displaced and never really put back into place in our communities. And so I come here on behalf of the young people in that community, the seniors, everybody who has stood up, and all of these folks here I stand with because we're here with a very clear and direct message. I don't believe that Venezuelan folks are to blame for this mess. I believe that a lack of planning has exacerbated this disaster, and now it is coming on the backs of Black folks and other underrepresented folks who have been in the city of Chicago for years and years and generations and not had the level of support that we are seeking, but that we're now watching unfold for other folks. And so it's not a zero sum game. We're not asking for folks to be harmed or any of that. That's never been our message. And I could speak for me and my son. We're here trying to save these kids' lives. It is not about us wanting to hold on to something so tight. Because if you've ever been to Taylor Park, it's not the nicest place, but it's our place. It's the place where our kids can come 5, 6, 7 days a week. And the old school Robert Taylor home, crowd can come and there's peace. There is no gunfire. There is no fighting. There is no chaos as how our kids are being depicted, rioting or like that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing a safe haven where we got kids that are even coming from other neighborhoods to this location because it is so highly respected and coveted. And folks from Robert Taylor will tell you that's sacred ground. So what we're here to do is advocate on behalf of our community. And I don't believe that we need to be depicted as anti anything. If I'm anti anything, I'm anti-racist. I'm anti all of these ridiculous policies that are continuing to oppress and suppress Black folks in this city. And what we're calling for today is to be heard. We're constantly hearing that
Oh, we hear you. We're taking this back to the city. We're taking it back to somebody. We're taking it back. Well, let's take it all the way back to where we've put our demands on the table for years. We've asked for capital improvements for buildings. We've asked for schools not to be closed. We've asked for more resources for our young people. I'm raising a young Black son in the city of Chicago. So if anybody understands how difficult that is, that we're fighting an uphill battle, then you understand. But my folks here understand exactly where we're coming from. Because when you see in the headlines, it's 15 kids shot in a weekend, they're not going to tell you that they were straight A students. They're not going to tell you what park they've been playing football for. They're not going to tell you how they've been raising their siblings and helping their mamas and daddies and grandparents. You don't see that. All you see is another Black body in the street. And so we're done fetishizing, Chicago violence and the lack of resources and calling us underrepresented and under whatever. We're going to be overly heard. And that's why we're doing this, because it's not about us versus them. This is about us. At the end of the day, this is about equity for folks who live in the city of Chicago, who were born and raised here. This is about equity for people who have been asking for what we deserve. We're not here begging for anything that does not already belong to us. I wish I knew exactly how many taxes I paid in this city over the years, but I guarantee you, it's enough that my son should be able to go and play at the park district.
Word, yo, that's real spit. So I'm gonna finish this another time, and we'll do part two. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna do part two another time. I'm gonna holla at y'all, man. Looking out for tapping in. Whoever tapped in, you see what I'm saying? If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the like button. Share this out to your social media. Share this out. You know what I mean? So I can hit the algorithms in some kind of way, because you know what I mean. The brother got to get his numbers up, and y'all appreciate it. Till the next time. If I don't do a show tomorrow night, for sure Sunday. Yes, I'm gonna jump on Felicia's show too on Saturday. So I'm gonna holla at y'all, man. Y'all stay up, all right?